Hi ThreadBanger, this is Gabby, also known as Supersonic Gabby on the ThreadBanger forums, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Fascinator headband like the one I'm wearing. For this project you're going to need a headband, you are going to need fabric of your choice. I'm using pleather fabric that I yanked from a jacket, and some other kind of fabric. This is an old lace shirt that I'm going to tear apart. Oh, and of course scissors and a needle and thread. The first thing you're going to want to do when you start making your headband is take your fabric and cut a bunch of circles that are about 1 inch in diameter. It's not really necessary that you make them a perfect circle, but you are going to want them somewhat petal shaped. Once you've got a whole bunch of circles, I started with about 10. You take your needle and thread. And you start sewing them together. What I did to start out was I took one petal and rolled it so that the back side is out. The reason you're going to want to do this is that when you're done, you can turn out your petals, and it'll look much better if you can turn out your petal and it has the right side out. What you want to do once you have your circle rolled out is you're going to want to take it and run a couple of stitches through it. I'm not the best sewer in the world, so my stitches are probably not the neatest stitches in the world, but if you can sew well, you'll probably have a better go at it. From the center on, you're going to want to take your petal and apply it so that the right side is facing the inside. Again, this is for when you turn your flower out at the end. You're going to want to be able to turn it out so that your right side's showing. As you're sewing your petals on, you're going to want to make sure that you get them securely attached. I run a few stitches through as I'm attaching each petal, and then once I start attaching more petals, I stitch back into the first petals. That way they're all connected and they don't look like 3 flowers. The best way I've seen to keep the petals even on the flower is to sew directly through the middle and apply one petal right across from your first petal. As you keep going, it'll probably turn a little bit, but don't worry, you'll probably get an even coverage around. Once you get your first couple petals on, it's mostly just going around and around and around and sewing. It's about 10 to 15. I might have given another number earlier in the video, but it's about 10 to 15 petals. This is actually a 7 petal flower, and at this point I kind of like it, so I think I'm going to stick with the 7 petal flower. What I'm choosing to do right now is to run this needle up through the middle of the flower and then back down. This way I can attach it to the headband easier and to any other thing that I might be attaching it to. The next thing I'm going to do is take my lace and cut a section out. This isn't really extremely necessary, but I made mine look much better by adding some lace. As soon as you've got your lace or extra fabric or whatever, you take it and put the needle through that's attached to your flower, and make sure that you get it so that there's some kind of compositional look to it. Otherwise it's just gonna look like something's flopping off and looking strange. But yeah, that's how I attached mine, and it's going to be sort of like a leaf. At this point, what you do with the headband is basically up to you. What I did for my black headband is I took another piece of my black pleather fabric and I made a leaf. I did this by sewing along the middle of the leaf in a line with some weird stitching. I don't even know the name. And it came up with sort of a vein, which I like. But I've got that leaf on mine, along with lace backing and a little tiny rose, like a tea rose. You can basically do whatever you want. You could add chains or beads or whatever. But I'm just keeping this one simple, and I'm going to add just this black lace and maybe a leaf. Once you're satisfied with how your decorations look, you can sew them onto your headband. You can do this with a few strong stitches, or you can attach them to a clip, and then you can clip them in your hair or on your headband or whatever. For my black headband, I sewed it on because I don't really care much about this headband. But for my red one, I want to be able to take it on and off. So I am going to use a clip. What I used for a hair clip was just a generic hair clip that you can get from a craft store, but you could easily use a padded hair clip that you happen to have around. I sewed my hair decoration into the padding that was on the clip, and then I clipped it onto the hairband. When you're done, you have something like this, and you can wear it sideways in your hair, which is how I usually wear mine, but I usually don't have my hair looking as bad as it does right now. Anyway, I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this project. I had a lot of fun making it. I know that I've kind of gotten addicted to making these little flowers, and they're probably going to show up about half the stuff I'm going to make. But anyway, thanks for having this contest, and anyway, I hope a lot of you guys get good projects out of this.